Alrighty, y'all, don't tap through, don't scroll through just yet. This is going to be a very, very quick devotional, so you can save it for later. You can put it in 2 times. Just try and listen to this whenever you can. So the Lord has put this on my mind for a couple of days, and so that's how I know I need to speak about this. And so right here I have a painting, and it's called The Creation of Adam by Michelangelo. And so right here is God's hand, and then this is Adam's hand. And we see that God's hand is outstretched, and Adam is more relaxed. We see in Revelation 3:20, it says, "Look, I stand at the door and knock. If you hear my voice and open the door, I will come in, and we will share a meal together as friends." So you must be thinking, Emma, what does this have to do with anything? Basically, in this verse, what God is saying is, look, I want to have a relationship with you. I want to be friends with you. You're constantly on my mind. My thoughts about you outnumber the grains of sand. I know the number of hairs in your head. I created you in your mother's womb. Look, I'm standing at the door, and I'm knocking repeatedly, and all that you have to do is just open the door and just let me in, and we will share a meal together as friends. And then we see in this painting, is that all that Adam has to do to touch God's hand is already outstretched. He's wanted to touch Adam's hand. Well, all that Adam has to do is just reach out, outstretch his hand, and he'll touch God's. We've made this so much harder than it needs to be, of being in a relationship with God. That, we have to do blah, 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 and then we'll be good. We'll have a relationship with God. No, it was never supposed to be that hard. All you have to do is just let him in. However, there is an evil at work. There is a darkness at work. Have you ever wondered why it's easier to doom scroll than it is to get in the Word? Wondered why it's so hard to pray? Have you ever wondered why, as soon as we start to think about having a relationship with God, the shame starts to set in? Have you ever wondered how whenever after getting baptized, is oftentimes the hardest year of your life? Why is that? It's because there's a darkness at work. The devil can't make hell look pretty, so he makes the road theirs look it. That's why these distractions start to come in whenever we think about having a relationship with God. These boys, these girls, the temptation of using our phone, this pornography, whatever it may be, these distractions start to go in. However, we must fight the good fight. Have you ever looked at these preachers and, Billy Graham, Bryce Crawford, and you think, oh my goodness, these are just such extraordinary men. Dude, they're built different. No, they're ordinary men that are being used by an extraordinary God. The Lord has always been close to us. However, we've been the ones who have gone away. But the thing that you and I can decide is how close do we want to get to the Creator of the heavens, the earth, the sea, and everything within them. What a privilege it is. In the Old Testament, we see that whenever people would go on the same ground that the Lord was in, that they would be struck down and that they would die on Mount Sinai. That only once a year, the Most High Priest could only get in the presence of God on the Day of Atonement. And there would be a veil that would be in between the most holy place and the holy place. They had to wrap a rope around him, because if he wasn't completely humble and clean and he got in the presence of God, he would be struck down. But now the veil is torn, and why is that? It's because a sacrifice was made by the blood of Jesus Christ. So now we openly get a relationship with the Creator of the heavens, the earth, the sea, and everything within them. But the question is are you going to outstretch your hand to touch God's? And I'd like to leave you with a verse. It's Acts 3:13. The members of the council were amazed when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, for they could see that they were what? That they were ordinary men with no special training in the scriptures. They also recognized them as men who had been with Jesus. We've made it such a hard thing to be in a relationship with God, whenever all you have to do is just let him in. Get in your word, learn more about him. It's not a one-sided relationship. You have to do your part as well. However, it doesn't have to be a big leap overnight. It's about those small steps as time goes on and on and on. Alright, y'all. I love y'all so much. I've been seeing your prayer requests. I've been praying for y'all. Also, if you have any questions, please just let me know. Y'all have such a blessed day. Bye, y'all.